I wanted to address this yesterday. But I put it on the back burner for today. Now, Margaret Cho, all right? Margaret Cho. A lot of y'all probably don't even know who Margaret Cho is. Margaret Cho is promoting her new Disney movie called Prom Pact, all right? Margaret Cho is a comedian that's been around for a long time, and Margaret Cho is promoting their new Disney movie called Prom Pact. Now, how is this relevant to us as bag chasers? How is this relevant to us with regard to our culture? How is this relevant to us with regard to the society in which we're raising our kids in? Well, when she was being interviewed by ET Times, which is a huge platform, they asked her about Disney protagonists and the alphabet community. I'm gonna try to scrub through this interview really quickly to get to the core of it, or maybe I should just let it play. It's not actually that long. Let me bring you in this.
Hello, Margaret Cho. I'm Karen Pereira from Times of India. Nice to meet you.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
So you were one of the comedy greats. What drew you to come on board and play the role of Miss Chen in Prom Pact?
Well, I love Peyton. Peyton is such a star. She's just amazing. And we had done Doogie last year in Hawaii. And so I was really excited to work with her again. I love a coming of age story, especially one that really puts an Asian American woman at the center of it, and
so let's stop there. That puts an Asian American woman at the center of it. This tells you, A, that they think just like you. They think just like you. Oh, y'all thought that black people was the only ones? When it comes to cultural wars, and when it comes to this whole diversity, equity, and inclusion conversation, they have the same conversations that you have. It just doesn't necessarily pop up on your algorithm because that's not what you're interested in watching. A lot of people would have never watched this Margaret Cho interview, right? But when you sent it to me, I seen it, and I said, you know what? This will be an interesting conversation to have with the people, right? Let's continue.
And this is a very important step in realizing diversity. I play a queer character.
This is a very important step in realizing diversity. She plays a, what did you play again? Let me go ahead and rewind that for the people in the back, just to make sure that we all on the same page.
I play a queer character in the film who's really somebody that they look up to, which I think is really amazing.
So Disney continues to go on this crusade by promoting and putting into the atmosphere these movies that they know that your children are going to watch. If you've ever went over to the Disney Plus app, in which I'm no longer subscribed to the Disney Plus app, have not been for months now. If you go over to the Disney Plus app, it's geared towards kids. And Disney is now promoting a new movie worldwide that they are making available called Prom Pact. And among other movies, if you look at all of the subtle hints, if you look inside of the Thor movie, if you look inside of a lot of these major Marvel movies, they're continuing to push the agenda. Let's continue.
I love the script, and we just had such a great time making it. I'm a child of the 80s, so it was really great to see it come back in a way. Also, the film itself is like a really great homage to those great coming of age films of the 80s, but with a feminist, kind of diverse cast, a very a different.
Look at the key terms: feminists, woke, diversity, Asian, uh, trans, queer. These are all of the key terms that she's used in less than a minute and a half into this conversation in order to continue to push an agenda. This is what your kids are going to be watching when they go and select a movie that you're not sitting with them because you don't even know that the character is going to be that's subtly being appeared and pushing and programming them in order to see things a little bit differently. It's the truth. She's saying it out of her own mouth. I don't have to put any words in her mouth. This is what Disney is doing.
Different point of view, but also the same feelings come up. I loved it.
So you had such a memorable character as Miss Cho, although it was too little for me. Like, I just want to see more of you and your quirks on screen. Can you share with us some of your best memory, or if there was a teacher who inspired this role?
I don't know if I had a teacher that necessarily inspired that role, but I think it's more just like that generation that really knows and wants the best for you, and really is also behind the scenes rooting for you, taking care of business. So for me, it was something that I was really more like looking to aunties in my life, and like everybody who was there kind of on the sidelines supporting me, especially the queer parts of my family. And I grew up in the queer community, so that for me was a real homage to this character.
Now, it gets worse. It gets worse, okay? But let's stop there. Think about this. She never named anybody, any male, strong, dominant person that has influenced her life. And I'm assuming because none ever existed. And so what's happening is, not just within the Black community, but all cultures and communities, this agenda is being passed through and passed down generation to generation and generation, in which now, when they become the movers and the shakers, they're going to be the ones that's pushing what their lifestyle is onto other people instead of just entertaining and having a good conversation, right? Or having a good acting career or whatever. It's more than that. There's an agenda. There's always going to continue to be an agenda that's being pushed based off of how you were raised, how you see things, and what your lifestyle is. But let's continue.
You might just be the first, Miss Cho might just be the first character in a full-fledged Disney movie. So if I got that right, yeah?
I think so. I love that. I think that's really, but it's really very real. I think it's really something that is important to recognize. We are everywhere, in society. And so this is just like another example of that. And I think we belong.
Do you think it's time for a Disney film to feature an LGBTQ lead character? And if yes, which one would you want to see it in?
I absolutely yes. And I would love to see everywhere. I would love to see trans characters. I would love to see different types of people in the roles of like Disney princess, Disney prince, Disney everything. I think this would be really important. And it's a move towards the future. It's a move towards who we are. I think it's really admirable and really exciting.
Need I say more? Is there anything left for me to be able to break down, or do you not see it for yourself? Need I say more, or do I need to break it down for myself? Let me give it to you this way. Let me also add some additional context into this conversation. Thank you for the super chat. I'm definitely gonna be reading that shortly. Let me add this into the conversation. All right. A, this is getting very tiresome. B, one of the things that's happening in society from both the Asian communities and the Indian communities, is that most companies have experienced a cap on their growth that they can have because their markets are fully mature in the United States and in Europe and in Canada or whatever, right? And so what they're trying to do in order to continue to satisfy shareholders and grow the bag and also push an agenda, they're moving into other communities. Now, one of the things that we do know is that the Asian community is huge, and it is a market that still has some legs as far as where you can run from a financial perspective from these large organizations. The other conversation is, look at what's happening on this conversation right now. You see an Asian woman and you see an Indian woman. Let me say it again. You see an Asian woman and you see an Indian woman, okay? It's the two markets that Disney is trying to push the hardest into. Apple literally just opened up a new store, and he's having conversations with the prime minister over there in India in order to try to push and expand into and have a manufacturing base, because it's now becoming too competitive and too much of an issue to manufacture what it is that they got going on over in China. Apple is trying to move over in India, right? You have the two cultures, and if you think that this is a mistake, it's not a mistake. There's two different cultures that's having a conversation right here, right now on your TV screen that is pushing a narrative and pushing an agenda that helps you to move into this agenda because they know that you're not going to do nothing about it. You're not going to stop watching Disney Plus. You're not going to not go to the Marvel movies. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to remove your children from school because you don't have the capacity to be able to do so. You're not going to protest over this. I just looked at a video of Dr. Umar Johnson specifically said that the black woman from Black Lives Matters tried to stop his whole organization, and those are the people that he pandered to the most. They both Asian? Oh, my bad. Okay. My bad. I didn't know. I need to become more culturally get more cultural insight. That's why I'm going to be traveling the world. But my point is that it's going to get worse before it gets better. At this point, we are at a space to where we're going to have to divest from certain things that's happening within the media by aligning ourselves a little bit more closely in packs. You can't save anybody. You can't save the community. I don't believe that America can be saved. I think that America is going to continue to be overrun, especially if Trump don't get in office or you don't get some other hardline conservative in office that stands up for us. And everything is going down south. Everything is going down the drain. So, yep, that's what's happening. That's what's popping. Shout out to Margaret Cho. I don't really fuck with her, but neither here nor there.